Adam Silver's NBA.
Cleveland owes them more money. Miami owes them more money from 2018 to even last year. We owe them money. We get it. But, we're not going to handicap ourselves because, he's owed another $400-500 million. But that's usually all the greats. All the greats is underpaid. Jordan was underpaid. Kobe was underpaid. Duncan was underpaid. Shaq was underpaid compared to who he was. There's nothing we can do about that.
You heard you talking about the future. Lakers fans, news for you. I'm a Lakers fan as well, as long as LeBron is in the building. LeBron James is your current, and LeBron James Jr. is your future. Luka is the bridge in between the two LeBron eras. But nonetheless, so report came down. David Miniman, one of my favorite reporters, said that obviously LeBron entering his 8th season was looking for a contract extension. JJ Redick signed a 4-year deal last season to coach the Los Angeles Lakers, led them to a 32 record. Last season, Joe. Last season. It was only 1 year. Signed a 4-year deal, I believe $432 million last season. After finishing 50-32 last season, before the start of last season, excuse me, after finishing 50-32, third in the West, getting bounced in the first round, the Lakers have given JJ Redick a contract extension. Only a second-year coach.
Wait.
Deal back in June 2024.
Hold on. Hold on, let me just. Last year was his first year.
Signed a 4-year deal, June 2024. And after one of those years was completed,
they gave him 2 more years off the door. Ooh, he in the smacking. Yeah, hey, he's smacking. Yes. He did right by somebody. Yes.
And also, it's tied to Luka. Luka signed a 3-year extension. Does that extension start next year, or does that extension start this season, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody in the chat, let me know. Like I said, I've been on record. So Luka signed a 3-year extension this summer, but that extension may not kick in until next season?
Yeah, because he got 1 more year in his deal.
Okay, so I think they may be aligning with each other. I don't know what it is. There's some Caucasian chicanery. I will point that out.
Wait, JJ will have 5 more years then, right?
Let me check fucking Hoops Hype salaries.
Yeah, 4 years. He only played 1. Then he added 2 more.
Let me see.
You're talking about like 2028? 20 or 30.
Got me working on the Lord Saturday.
Yeah, 5-year contract.
So Luka under contract to at least 2028. That's he has a player option summer 2028. So he gets his credit for this season. I think the new contract kicks in starting the 26-27 season. JJ, they have not released terms of the deal just yet, unless somebody else has seen those recently. They just said they were giving him extension because they value him. And if you're LeBron James, they got LeBron out here golfing, taking Luka to Backstreet Boys concert. Did not take LeBron to Usher. We want to keep harping on it though. What kind of shit is going on? They got something up their sleeves. I don't like it.
It's called, no, it's not up the sleeve. You can see it. It's called, we got JJ. Him and Luka must get along real well right now. Even though LeBron brought him in, it's like, well, nigga, you brought me in the country club. I'm in here with my own people now. And he got Luka next to his side. So, it is what it is, I guess.
Good decision by the Lakers, though. Like I said, JJ, no previous head coaching experience, did play in the league for 15 years. Pelinka said the decision came down to confidence and belief. He said, we think he's a special coach with a special voice that's really helping us define the cultures of the Lakers excellence.
I guess if you are banking on Luka winning a championship with the next 2 years, then yeah, you want to lock JJ in now versus he wins a chip, so I'm happy he gets coach of the year, and then his value's worth a lot. So they're probably looking at, you know what, let's go ahead and lock him down for 5 more years. We win 2 more championships. And then boom, in 5 years we can negotiate. But if he wins 2 more championships, if he wins 2 championships within the next 3 years, when that contract's up, goddamn,
you're gonna want the big bag.
Yeah, so we get to buy. They basically are jumping the gun for 2 years just in case something great happens for us.
So Pelinka also said, we just wanted to make a clear statement that this is what we believe in, what we're going to lean into, and what our players are going to mold into as we continue to develop the identity. I think having long-term planning is helpful as we build this team and go forward. Okay. So I think y'all are just giving niggas extensions. Like apparently, who else wanted an extension?
I don't know who else. We know who else wanted one. He didn't get one.
Yeah, at least give Ronnie one.
He didn't get one. No. Dang, that sucks.
Lakers fans in the chat, are you rolling with JJ Redick as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? We have a 1 season body of work, 50 and 32, third in the West.
Of course.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, I mean, he did great. Now we got a future, man.
What's up, y'all? Looks like the numbers are in, and there's really nothing you could do to dispute it. Hip-hop might be dead, at least commercially, in the current year of 2025. This post was going around a lot, and it said only 4 hip-hop songs are charting on today's global Spotify chart, the lowest number in the chart's 9-year history. On this exact day, 5 years ago, there were 56 rap songs on the chart. That's a little bit odd. Spotify chose 50 songs, not 100 or however many songs they're seeing on this, but in the 50 chart, there were no hip-hop tracks. So that might even be worse. But even if we check out the Hot 100, because this is global, and pop music has always had more of a dominance globally, and especially now, K-pop music dominating global charts as well. But if we look at the Hot 100, it looks even spookier, because that's in America. Really, the only people, like Leon Thomas, he's not a rapper, right? He's up there, though, with R&B, and he's doing fine. But we've got Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA at number 26. We've got the Drake Party Next Door and Cash Cobain song that just re-entered the charts. So that song has been blowing up again. And that's more of the R&B album. We've got Big X the Plug. I will give you a spoiler right now. Big X the Plug is the most dominant rapper on the Hot 100 right now. He's got the most entries. Big X the Plug got 2 songs. Now one of them is with Bailey Zimmerman, and that's more of a country song. I talked about this when it first released on my other channel, I believe, or when it first started like doing crazy numbers. And Doja Cat, more of a pop act. She's been dropping more pop music. But we've got Tyler the Creator, who also has Sugar on My Tongue. That's at number 56. And then at number 59, Big X the Plug got his song Hell at Night. So Big X the Plug is dominating, but really all throughout the charts, you just see Sabrina Carpenter, Justin Bieber, Kate Ray, you've got Gunna and Burna Boy, but Gunna and Burna Boy, Gunna is a rapper, we'll give you that. And then Drake, of course, What Did I Miss? And then as far as you got Tiramisu by Don Toliver, which I'm glad that song is doing good. That was a good track. It felt like he just dropped that out of nowhere. Was there a snippet that was circling around before on TikTok or something, and then he dropped it? Because I just saw a random drop by him. I clicked on it. I was like, yo, this is hard. I'm going to continue listening to this for the rest of the day. You also got in the 90s, we're talking, Glorilla and Key Block, each with their own song on there. And Cardi B, damn near about to fall off the track, or damn near about to fall off the Hot 100. Same with Which One by Drake and Central C, which I expect that song's been on there for 7 weeks, which I think is solid. Interested to see how that's doing in the UK, but I'm not going to take the time to look that up right now. I'll do that on my own time. And that's the commercial performance.
Start losing weight with LifeMD's weight management program. With doctor guidance and weekly shots, you can lose as much as 35 pounds of your body weight. Join over tens of thousands of patients who trust LifeMD for weight management.
From the apron, a brutal impact after taking a gigantic gamble like that.
Hi, this is Jake at Operate. Our exposure report scans the web for companies selling your personal information. You can report to hip-hop.
So, Lil Tecca previously, he had a couple of songs. He had Dark Thoughts and Ola that were charting very well, but when it comes to the degree of, like, smash hits, hip-hop has not really had any this year. And some people are turning this into a Drake Kendrick thing. They're saying, oh, this is because Drake hasn't popped out, and when Iceman comes, we're going to have some hits. And I do think that's possible, but I think there's more to it than that. Someone else said, major labels have deprioritized hip-hop, cut back resources through sweeping consolidation, and removed or forced out the people who understood how to market black music. I don't know if this is all the way true either. I am shocked with the dominance of K-pop in American charts too. Like we've got, I don't even know what this Hunter X thing was. I think it's a soundtrack to a movie, but this group, this Golden song has been #1 for 12 weeks, and I've never heard it. Now, Ordinary by Alex Warren, I've heard that song a lot, and we've got multiple like Asian Idol songs that are throughout the top 10 and throughout the entire chart. Like, it's not even like Latin music is dominating the charts, the Hot 100 this week at least, for the past several weeks. The country is for sure up there right now, and the question is, do y'all actually care? Because it's only commercially that this is happening. And I just think that maybe we're in a phase where who's really making hits? Hits that are going to appeal to people outside of hip-hop. I don't know. Drake is the one that does that, but then people complain that Drake does that. And then when Drake makes rap songs that aren't doing that, they hate on him for not charting. So what is it that you guys want? I personally think that, and I have said this before, this has been one of the best years for hip-hop. So if we're talking about the output of music that's come out, for example, Gunna dropped a great album. We got Jay Electronica dropping more songs in the past week than he has done his entire career. Now granted, some of these songs were supposed to be dropped 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and they didn't, but we're getting them out on streaming. I feel like a little kid at Christmas when I get this. So we got Jay Electronica dropping, one of the smoothest, most effortless rappers ever. Like, I can't tell. Listening to Jay Electronica music, especially with his beat selection, it's like having your ears tickle. It's insane. You can pause on that, of course. But what else did we get? When it comes to albums, we got the Joey Badass album. And a lot of people were just trying to hate on Joey because he sold like, what, 10K first week? I thought you guys didn't care about that. Joey dropped a solid album after he walked the West Coast in the beat fight. Now, it was a competitive beat, but after he beat the West Coast in the 20v1 himself, Kid Cudi, I've listened to a couple of tracks on that, but Kid Cudi, this was, I think, his last album on the label before he went independent. Offset dropped a solid album, and he's been doing that performance with Drowning Pool for the remix, what do you call it, interpolation, rendition, whatever it is, sample of Bodies with J.I.D. That's one of my favorite songs this year, and the fact that he did that performance on Late Night Show, was that on Jimmy Kimmel? That's probably the last great performance on Jimmy Kimmel ever. That's history right there. They need to, especially 2021, they would turn that into an NFT or something. Earl, I didn't check out that album. Big X the Plug has been dropping nothing but he dropped an album this year too, and that was just a month ago. And Chance the Rapper's Starline, like, how much more do you guys want? I can keep going. J.I.D. dropped a great album. He dropped a really, really good project. He dropped a solid project. And people enjoyed, they said, not me, I disagree, but they said A Futuristic Summer by Metro Boomin was a great project too. And this is just August. This is just August, September. We haven't even gone back further. We can go back further. The Young Boy is going crazy on tour right now. That's within our world of hip-hop, of course. He's having the craziest tour. Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist dropped Alfredo too. So we've been getting fed. Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler, the Creator as well. And none of these turned into massive hits, but are we looking for singles? Like, if we're doing that, then we got to get Nicki Minaj back out here because she can deliver. Jack Boy too. Travis Scott is someone that we would expect to be able to deliver a hit. And Clips like God sort them out too. I'm not even going to go down the list. There's a long list of great projects that we've got this year, and just action happening within hip hop. Like, so I don't really think that we should care how it's reflecting on the rest of the world that isn't in tune with hip hop anyway. Well, we got 6ix9ine potentially coming back, not actually coming back, but delivering some prime entertainment. have any music come out of it? I don't know, but would you guys want to listen to the music that comes out of it anyway? I mean, that's a better question, and you guys claim to say no, so that's why he stays there not dropping music, but doing a Vlad interview. And Vlad did say that was the most expensive interview ever. So I wonder how much 6ix9ine taxed him for that. There has been a lot of restructuring of record labels, like for instance, 300, a bunch of people got fired and they just merged into like Atlantic Warner, and the teams are a lot smaller. So these major labels, they've fired a lot of people, and I think they realize that we don't need this much staff. We're making a ton of money off of the previous catalogs. Hip-hop is not as in high demand right now, other than Kendrick. But I don't think Kendrick had any effect to do with it, as some people would like to claim. I just think you guys need to apologize to Drake, because it's really Drake and maybe Future that's going to be able to bring it back. And Future doesn't have that cross-market appeal that a Drake has. And this is the thing, if Drake got into country, and Post Malone, he got in at the right time. But Post Malone has always been a lover of country music, so we're not going to play him like Post Malone is trying to do some country grip. But if Drake had hopped on that, like he hopped on, what was it, Latin trap, or reggae song, whatever you want to call it, when he got on that song Mia, if Drake hopped on country at the time, you guys would have said, like, yo, he's bitching hip-hop, this and that, but we would have had a hit out of it, because Big X the Plug gave us a hit out of it. And I'm kind of happy that we're getting a new crop. Like, Big X the Plug is a new rapper, and he's doing great commercially. He's entertaining to watch. He seems like a really, really cool guy. He's a big Drake fan himself, and he's not too cool for anything. Like, he's not ashamed to say that he's a Drake fan. And he was at Wireless Fest in London. He was singing his heart out. That was one of the memes that got really popular during that event. And he's dropping hits for us, and he's putting Texas really, he's taking Texas to the next level. I don't want to say on the map, because you had people like the Mexican OT, and the Dallas scene had been growing for quite a while in Texas, with people like Mo 3 before he passed away, and a lot of other artists that have been kind of like almost getting there. The Big X was really the one that took it to the next level. So maybe we're getting a new generation, a new class right now, and we're just in the development. We're in a restructuring phase before we start to get more hits. And I like to hear that. I don't really mind the fact that it's not dominating on the charts, especially global charts, because I played with Cardi, that's dominating. Like that song, globally, it's doing really well. The album, at least. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.
So Alex is one of the days for every laptop. Did you really try? If you don't already have one, take this as your sign. I figured out that it is really, and so it's part of the chance to have something really scary and involving in the law. So she says specifically with rocket upgrade. You are on this issue for baking. What are you doing? The folks who tell you just one other ingredient. And it's now available on HelloTushy.com.
This fight on the outside. And he comes in under the ropes now.
I don't know if you've ever thought about it, you might have in passing, but obviously Detroit skipped over you, took Darko. You ever think, because that was a good Detroit team after they went on to win championships, you didn't think that like, yeah, I'm going to win my career there, right? And so, you know, it was, I'm going to tell you what, man, like to this day, I still think about that. Yeah. If we would have drafted Carmelo, don't think we would have won the championship.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, Carmelo Anthony has always said, you know, with his Hall of Fame career and, you know, all of the accolades he's gotten, I think he scored almost 28,000, almost 29,000 points. I mean, a certified bucket, went to the playoffs several times, played in the Mecca up in New York, drafted by the Nuggets. I mean, really, really good individual career. But the championship, the new Carmelo, and Carmelo Anthony and others have stated several times that, man, they had a chance to draft Melo. Instead, they took Darko Milicic, who really never played a significant role for the team.
With the second pick in the 2003 NBA draft, Detroit Pistons select Darko Milicic.
How that would have changed Carmelo Anthony's whole narrative. Like, if he would start winning championships before, you know, LeBron and Wade and you know, and they got that championship pedigree, maybe his career would have went in a different way. And I remember Stephen A. Smith bringing that up.
Joe Dumars had drafted him instead of Darko Milicic. Carmelo Anthony had a title, if not two. But again, it was Joe Dumars' team. Mm-hmm. And Joe Dumars, in fairness to him, understand that Joe Dumars had Tayshaun Prince, he had Rip Hamilton, he had Benny and Rasheed, or eventually Rasheed Wallace. And he's like, we got a crew. Mm-hmm. We could, Eastern Conference Finals, and then ultimately the NBA Finals back-to-back years. His whole mentality was that we didn't need it, but we needed another big. But Carmelo Anthony was Carmelo Anthony, coming out of Syracuse, a national champion, All-American, and what he brought to the table. And you know what he could bring. If you don't in Carmelo, talent.
So Eric actually talking about it and saying, basically the city of Detroit was made for Melo and his game and his style, how he was, brutal, very physical. Detroit was very much blue-collar town. So I get what he's saying with that. And Carmelo is even going a step further and say it's still awesome, even after, recently going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, you can go look it up. He was unguardable. LeBron has talked about how hard he was to guard. So Bryant, definitely the best in the game, talk about how hard Tracy McGrady, they all talk about how hard it was to guard Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo is still functioning to this day.
I don't know if you've ever thought about it, you might have in passing, but obviously Detroit skipped over you, took Darko. You ever think, because that was a good Detroit squad that they went on to win championship, you ever think that like changed my career then, right? And so, it was, I'm going to tell you what, man, like to this day, I still think about that. Yeah, hell yeah. Because I'm like, they promised me. You know what I'm saying? We taking you. We taking you. I'm talking all the way up to draft day. You understand? We taking you. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Detroit. We get to Johnson here. Anytime, all these guys are there. She came in the middle of the year. And she got traded. Oh, that's right. And that's what really put them over the top. But they was like, no, you gonna share the time with that. Tayshaun, I ain't, I come and do my thing, but I don't know how long I'm gonna share the time with him, I'm just come and do my thing. And then they won it. And I'm like, because I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if I'm I think they win another. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't jump out there, so we three people. But I think we go back to back if I'm there. Because that second year for me, I would learn from those guys. It was all best. And I would learn from those guys. In the way that second year coming back, I'd have been a totally different player. But, everything had its short reason. Yeah, man. I still think about that shit though to this day, bro. Like, I want to say, then we have Rip on the show. Rip, before you were coming to me up there. We drove from B-More to Philly. Me and my man Dave, we drove from B-More to Philly, man, to go watch. It was Detroit versus Philly. And Larry Brown had already took the job at Detroit when he was still coaching Philly. So in the back, he's like, yo, we taking you, bro. Like, we taking you. So, I'm driving back up 95, like, yo, we ain't going to Detroit. The whole hood, we Detroit. Detroit, man. So, that shit still sitting with you today.
And you can hear the Melo, like, it still bothers him to some degree because he knows that was, that championship, that would have meant a lot as far as how he even viewed as a player, much less if he would have been able to get a couple of rings with that Detroit team. Now, he feels that way, and obviously some former players feel like he was supposed to be in Detroit.
Everybody thought he was going to go to Detroit. Everybody. Including us. We was already celebrating. Well, it would have been the perfect, like, most people always be like, would he have started or would Melo have started or changed? Well, what most people don't forget is that at the time of that draft, we didn't have Sheed. Mm-hmm. We got Sheed at the trade deadline. So Melo was that start off the top. We still reminisce about that. Man, like, we still don't know what happened. I know what happened. Bro, it's crazy, man, but we always like, man, we win at least 3 chips, bro. I say it all the time. I'll be on. I said, Brown would have to leave Cleveland a lot earlier than they never was gonna beat us. Yeah, they never would have beat us.
But Ben Wallace is not one of the players, and Ben Wallace was the anchor of the defense, and he's like, if we got Melo, we wouldn't have won a championship. Take a listen to hear what he had to say.
You think you guys would have figured? I gotta ask this: if you drafted Carmelo,
If we would have drafted Carmelo, I honestly don't think we would ever won a championship.
why is that? You think like the focal point would have been on him too much, or like as a high value rookie, or?
Melo would have wanted to play right away.
Okay.
And the expectation of him would have been right there too.
Right. So it would have had the potential to disrupt the team chemistry.
Yeah.
But by drafting Darko was the guy that came in and said, I can't play on this team. I'm not ready to play on this team. Who am I going to play in front of? I'm not ready. And by him doing that and accepting his role, it allowed us to build and grow, get strong, and eventually win a championship. Now, if he would have came in saying, I want to play, I need to be playing, then he would have called his agent. His agent would have been calling Joe. Darko would have been talking to the media. You know what I'm saying? The media would have been coming asking us crazy questions. And we would have had to say something crazy. They would have took it back to Darko.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole divided culture. And Melo, if we would have dropped the Melo, Tayshaun would have never blossomed to be the type player that he became. You know what I mean? And we won the championship off the back of maybe one of the, well, not maybe, the best block that I ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I blocked a lot of shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I hear Ben Wallace on that. I mean, a lot of people would look at it like, man, you replaced Carmelo Anthony and what he ended up becoming, and you put him there, and, you know, instead of Tayshaun Prince being out there, then Detroit's going to automatically be that much better of a team, right? Anyone that's not just been a fan of the game, that's actually played the game on any level, understand that sometimes the best lineups aren't the lineups where every position has the most talented player. You know what I'm saying? Offensively. You know, you have to bring different things to the table. And, you know, it could have been where Melo got there and was humbled right away, and that made him work that much harder. Maybe Carmelo would have been a better defender or more consistent defender. Because people always said, when Melo wanted to guard, he could guard. It's just he was more focused on the offensive end, and he just did not take the onus on that end of the court like that. But I do understand what Ben Wallace is saying, because that would have moved and change something about that team's chemistry and dynamics. Because the city, I mean, a team, you're drafting somebody like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo was fresh off a natty. The city is expecting to see Carmelo Anthony. They really won't press. I mean, Darko Milicic, they were like, who is this dude? I mean, this isn't like now.